Hey YouTube, it's Kari, Sidekick, and today we're playing a new game, at least a new game for my channel, which is Titanfall, and this is the Xbox 360 version, which is why it's been a couple weeks that the game has been out and it hasn't been on my channel, because I don't own an Xbox One yet, so I am glad that they decided to go ahead and make this for the Xbox 360, because I did want to at least try the game out, and I didn't want to get the PC version of it, mostly because my computer doesn't really handle PC games very well, and I'm just not a PC gamer. Don't have anything against people that want to play on a PC, but I really like playing on a console, so I'm glad they went ahead and made this for the 360. So today we're going to talk about Titanfall, my first thoughts on it, and what my opinions are, and if I like the game or not. Now, I do want you guys to know that this is one of my very first few games. I'm only level 5, so I'm not very good at the game yet, especially in this game, and I don't really know what I'm doing. I definitely have not mastered the parkour at all yet. So bear with me as I'm still in the learning stage, but I did want to go ahead and use one of my first games since this is my first thoughts and opinion on Titanfall. So first things first, there is Campaign and there's Classic, and I haven't played Classic at all. I'm playing Campaign, even though it's still multiplayer, you're still playing with other people, and I imagine that they're pretty similar, except for I believe that Campaign has kind of a story to it, but I have not followed the story at all. I don't even pay attention to what they're saying at all, so honestly, I don't know what the story is, and I don't think anyone else really pays attention to the story. So anyway, it's pretty much just like multiplayer, and we are playing Attrition, which is team deathmatch basically, and you have 3 things to kill. You have the enemy AI, and then you have pilots, which are other players, and then you have Titans. So the only other game mode that you will play in Campaign is Hardpoint Domination, which is essentially just domination like in Call of Duty. You have all the 3 types of enemies that you can still continue to kill, and then you have 3 flags to capture, and it's just like in Call of Duty Ghost where you have to neutralize the flag before you capture it, but other than that, it's the exact same as Call of Duty Domination. And right there, if you can see, I kind of made myself a little bit invisible. You can cloak yourself for like 10 seconds, and I wasn't sure how well it worked, so I was going to try to melee that guy, and it didn't work very well because he killed me. So see, I'm still in the learning process, and I'm not very good yet, but oh well. Pressing forward. So my very first game was on Hardpoint Domination, which I think is pretty good. I actually like playing Domination when I'm trying to learn a new game, even Call of Duty, because I feel like it's easier to learn the maps rather than just, running all over the map randomly and trying to figure out the map that way. And the very first thought that I had when I played this game was, this feels exactly like Call of Duty. Like the way you run and the way you pull up the gun, like it feels very, very similar to Call of Duty. I can definitely tell it was developed by people that made Call of Duty because it feels a lot like it, except for, the parkour stuff. But it does feel very, very similar. And so far, because I'm sure a lot of people want to know, like, do you think it's better than Call of Duty? Definitely not. So I didn't even mention this yet, but I don't actually own this game. I rented it, and this is one of the first games I've rented since I was like 7 from a Blockbuster. And the reason I decided to rent this game was because I didn't know how many people were going to play it, and I didn't know how it was going to be. Usually, even if I'm not very sure I'll like a game, like almost every Call of Duty, I will buy anyway because I feel like I'm probably going to get my $60 worth no matter what. But this game, I was going to buy it, but the more I thought about it, I was like, I'm not really sure that I'm going to love this game or that enough people will buy it, so there won't be enough people online. So I went ahead and rented it, and I'm pretty glad I did because right now I'm not very sold on the fact that I might buy it. I might, but I don't know yet, so I'll continue to play more and see. I didn't really have high expectations for this game in the first place because for me it just looks too futuristic. I like a very modern shooter, and while I guess, it's modern, it's definitely more futuristic. To me, it honestly looks a lot like Halo and Call of Duty put together. And I do like Halo, but I'm not a huge Halo buff. Like, I'm just not into Halo that much. So for me, I'm just kind of like, you kind of just put Call of Duty and Halo together. I'd really rather just play one or the other. I mean, I like the game, but so far I'm not truly loving it. But other than that, there are some other things, some other issues that I have with the game, including... So the first major issue that I have with the game is there is just too much going on. Now, I'm a gamer, you guys are probably gamers, so you guys probably have a pretty good attention span and you can probably process a lot of stuff at one information, most of us can, but oh my gosh, there's so much going on in this game. I'm like, oh my gosh, where am I getting shot at? What am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to kill? I cannot focus. There is just too much going on in this game, and I don't really like that. So there's 3 different types of enemies. So first there's AI, which is computer controlled, and there's at least 2 different types. There's grunts and there's spectres, or I believe that's how it's pronounced. And they're really easy to kill. There's absolutely no challenge. They're not very smart, and I think they're totally useless. To me, it seems like the only reason they were really put in there is as a distraction. And I personally think the game would be a lot better if there was just no AI at all. It's really difficult to tell apart the AI from other players, pilots, that's what we're called, and that annoys me because if I have a couple of enemies looking at me and 3 of them are AI and 1 of them is a human, I want to try to shoot the human first because they're the one that's probably going to kill me back, but I really can't tell until half the time I'm just spraying bullets all over the place, and then I look down and I see I only got 20 points for killing an AI that was super easy to kill. It was just, there was no challenge in it whatsoever, and even if they were a harder AI, I just don't like the idea of playing against bots. To me, I just don't agree with that. It's boring. I don't want to play against the computer. I want to play multiplayer. This is a multiplayer game. So that's one of my biggest problems with it right there, is the fact that there's a lot of bots in the game, and that's boring. And then secondly, there's pilots, which is us, and that's really the only type of enemy that I like to kill. And I think it would be fine if it was just, 6v6 pilots. It'd be a lot like Call of Duty, I kind of think that they could maybe do like 8v8 because I feel like it is kind of hard to find pilots, but I'll talk about another reason why I think it's harder to find them in a second. So I think it'd be maybe a little bit better if there's a little bit more people. And then thirdly, there's Titans, which, you probably would know that everybody gets a Titan. You get a Titan even if you suck at the game. But apparently if you're good at it, you get them faster and you can get more of them. I don't like the Titans at all, and maybe it's because I'm new at the game, and I've been playing for like 2 days now, and I still don't like Titans. For me, a lot of people say that they're not overpowered, but I disagree. If an enemy Titan sees me and I'm a pilot on the ground, oh my gosh, I just insta-dive. Like, if they step on you, they kill you. If they shoot almost anything at you, they kill you in like 2 bullets. It's very hard to be a pilot versus a Titan. They are powerful. And when most people choose to get in the Titan, and so when people get in the Titan, it takes pilots off the field. So if all 6 people got a Titan up, then there are no pilots. There's no other enemies to kill. There's just 6 Titans. So that takes players off the field. So that's another reason why I don't like them. Now, I almost never get in my Titan. I did when I first started playing, but honestly, I'm not very good at being a Titan. And I don't enjoy it. I actually usually put mine on autopilot, and so it follows me, or to have it garden area, and honestly it kills a lot more people on auto than when I'm in it anyway, and then I can be out in the field and I can try to kill any other pilots that are out there, or I can try to take down other people's Titans. So that's what I like to do, and I almost kind of just wish people couldn't get in their Titans in the first place and that all of them were set to auto, because then there would be more players on the field, and then you would have to take out the Titans with your anti-Titan weapon, which I think would be much cooler than Titans versus Titan versus Titan versus Titan. And then there's that one pilot like me that's like, oh, I'm gonna use my anti-Titan weapon because I don't want to get in my Titan. So I'm like the oddball here. I don't like to get in the Titan, and I find myself a lot of times being like one of the very few people on the battlefield. And it's boring because I can't find anybody, and the only people I can find are Titans, and they're hard to kill. I guess I'm complaining a lot, but I don't like that. I don't know, it's just me. It's different, but so that is another huge complaint I have with the game. My last complaint that I have with the game that I can at least think of for right now is that the guns in the game are pretty terrible and that there's not very many of them. I'm using, I don't know, it's called like the ARC carbine or something, but I'm just gonna call it the main assault rifle because that's like the only gun you'll see people using. I always die from this gun. I see other people using this gun when you watch videos. This is the gun you're probably seeing. I don't have the sight on it, which I don't know, it kind of like is like green or orange, and it has like arrows. It's not like a red dot sight, but it's like it's a cool sight. I do like it, and there's only actually 3 sights for it at all, and I've unlocked 2 of them. The other one's a lot like a hollow sight. It's a little bit zoomed in, but there's not a lot of attachments for the guns. The only other things you can put on here are a suppressor or extended mags, which I kind of wish you could like put both. Like you can do that in Call of Duty. You can, put more than one attachment, because I like the suppressor because it keeps me off the radar, but I go through ammo really fast, and it definitely decreases the damage. Like it's very annoying. But All the other guns, they either have really terrible range or they hold very, very few bullets, so I'm just like, yeah, I'm not even interested in trying that. Like, this shotgun's pretty powerful, but it doesn't have very much range, so most people I kill are from long range anyway, so I know, like, I'm not going to carry the shotgun. The maps are rather large, but to me, it's kind of annoying that there's, like, one gun to pick from. And there's not a whole lot of, like, perk things. They're not called perks in this game. I don't remember what they're called. But there are kind of, like, perks and stuff that you can pick from. And there's not very many of them. And I can't figure out how to destroy the dropship. So, yeah, when you get to the end of the game, there's this dropship that you gotta destroy if you're on the winning team. Or you gotta get in it and get out of there if you're on the losing team. Which I've only been successful at doing one time. It's because when you die at the end, you don't respawn. So, overall, I don't think Titanfall's a bad game, but I definitely think Call of Duty's better, and expect this to continue to be a Call of Duty channel. But I hope you liked the video and learned something, and I'll see you guys later.